Welcome back to another episode of the Miracle Marketing Podcast, where we bring you interviews from business owners, celebrity guests, and hot topics. I'm your host, Brandon Adams, along with my co-host, super producer, Big Perion. How are you out there, Big Perion?
Doing pretty good, bro. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. How's everything going in Atlanta?
It's lovely, man. It's been cloudy today, but it's been a good day. It's been a good day.
That's a great thing. All right, everyone, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, send us an email to amiraclepodcast@gmail.com. On today's show, we have a special guest that we're sure you'll learn a lot about the industry and get some information from. So without further ado, we're going to welcome to the show the owner of Black Infusion. For all my spirit lovers and people that love to have them a little cocktail or a little drink, we have the CEO of Black Infusion, Mr. Michael Davidson. How are you, Mr. Michael Davidson? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Very excited to let everyone know about Black Infusions and as we grow our business. So thank you for having me on.
No problem. So tell our viewers a little bit about Black Infusion. For those that don't know, I know tequila is the hot thing right now, but Black Infusion, I've had it. It is a great drink. So I'm going to let you tell everyone about Black Infusion and get them excited about your product.
Thank you so much. So Black Infusions actually originated as a hobby back in 2013. I was a former winemaker for about 11 years and kind of had that a wow moment of, hey, why can't people make spirits like wine? Why does everything have to be artificial and flavoring and syrups and coloring? So I took my wine philosophy of picking grapes and turned that into making spirits where we pick our own fruit. And our first product was Black Fig, and we picked our own figs. We had kind of a cult following. Like I said, it was kind of a hobby. And then fast forwarded, we actually turned it into a business. Got a bottler, got a place to produce, got some distributors, and started getting some customers. The great thing about our products is we're using real fruit. So when you start at that base, it makes great cocktails because we're not adding any artificial sugar, any coloring, any flavoring, and you just don't see that with a lot of the big brands. So we've kind of formed our own little niche in the market right now. And I won't say, we're going toward the healthy part, but we're definitely a wellness product where people do care what they drink. I mean, look, they care what they eat when they go to the supermarket, what they shop. So why not care about what you're going to put in your body when you're drinking? So that's the message we're trying to get out there. And I'll talk more about the cocktails as we move forward with the podcast.
Okay. So one of the questions I do want to ask you is, what variety of cocktails and spirits do you offer? Michael, you still there?
I'm there. Yep. Did I lose you? Okay, there we go.
Okay, you froze for a minute. So tell us about the spirits that you offer, so people will be aware of what you offer to them.
Sure. We have three all natural spirits, all fruit infused. And by the way, we use dried fruit. I know a lot of restaurants I encounter use a lot of infusions, but they're using fresh fruit. The reason we use dried fruit is we want to pull the color of the fruit. And if you look at our bottles, you'll see the actual color of the fruit. And we also want to pull the taste profile. So if we're saying we're Black Fig, we want you to taste figs. And that was our number one product. We then launched Gold Apricot. It's a blend of Mediterranean, California apricots. And then our last product, which we launched through the pandemic, we launched, I believe, the first cherry infused product that's actually using real cherries. It's a blend of Bing, which is a darker cherry, mixed in with a little Rainier, which gives it a little sweetness. So the way I talk about these products right now in the show and the way I talk about it to customers definitely refers to a lot of my winemaking experience, that we're using real infusions. And, we can continue our line of infusions with more dried fruit, but we decided to launch a ready-to-drink cocktail. So we took our cherry vodka, all natural, and we made a Dirty Shirley, which is a take on a version of the Shirley Temple. But we wanted to stay true to what Black Infusions is about. So we're not using any sugar flavoring in that Dirty Shirley. It's fresh ginger, fresh lime, and our cherry vodka. And it really makes a difference with all our products when you're making a cocktail, whether you're making it in a glass or you're drinking it out of a can, which is obviously for everyone out there, it's called an RTD, ready to drink.
Carry on. Go ahead.
What made you choose those three fruit
Great
to
question.
start with?
Great question. I get that asked a lot. So really two reasons. One, I wanted people to enjoy their cocktails with food. I saw so many people drinking these blueberry teenies, these apple teenies, these Cosmos, and then when their food came, they went to water because most spirits are either too boozy, too hot, or too sweet. They're just not balanced. So I wanted to come out with food-friendly spirits, and that's why I picked those flavor profiles, especially the fig, the apricot, and now the cherry. And we kind of wanted a little Mediterranean type of feel to our products. Plus, they make great cocktails. If you look at the more famous infused or flavored like blueberry, raspberry, strawberry, it's really hard to make serious cocktails. You're just going to make a lot of fruity sugar cocktails. But take the fig. We do fig with whiskey, fig with tequila. As Brandon said, tequila is huge. We're doing apricot with mezcal. We're doing cherry with Campari. You can't do that with the popular blueberry, raspberry, strawberry. So we wanted people to enjoy it with food, but we also wanted to make great cocktails with our products. So we thought that flavor profile, which is not in the market, you don't see it very often, especially fig, definitely got positive feedback right off the bat from everybody.
As far as like getting it in different arenas, as far as like, have you dealt with any athletes or musicians as to like becoming sponsors?
So we're really small. We're in 21 states, really only have one full-time employee. We are trying to scale. It is a tough industry because it is dominated by, many big brands that have most big distribution. Our celebrities mostly are chefs. We're in John George. We're in Gordon Ramsay. We're in Wolfgang Puck. We're in a lot of really great chef-oriented restaurants across the country. We recently, and I mean very recently, had some influencers more towards the wellness, CrossFit type of influencers that have been reaching out to us. I think we're right there on the threshold of getting on people's radar, whether they're a celebrity, like you said, or whether there's someone that is more of an influencer. But we have to grow slowly. We can't throw all our eggs in one basket. And we're trying to grow through social media, through Instagram and Facebook accounts. And we're also trying to grow through grassroots, get on drink lists, have people go out to dinner, drink the product, and then hopefully go back to their hometown or back to their market they live in and look to buy their product. And that's kind of how our model's been going as we continue to grow. Mostly domestic, although we do get a lot of calls, a lot of emails about going international, especially with the two Mediterranean fruits like the fig and the apricot. And then the Dirty Shirley's kind of opened doors for us as right now we're trying to get it onto some cruise ships.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
that would be a home run.
Do you have you done any pop-ups?
Yeah, so we do a lot of happy hours, but we definitely do some specialty cocktails in New York City. They're doing a lot of pop-ups. And when they do a pop-up, a lot of the bars or mixologists, they want to do a pop-up with something that nobody's had. They don't want to do a pop-up with something you're drinking at home. And I won't mention the big brands, but everyone knows what I'm talking about. They want to, if you're going to do a pop-up and you want to get people excited, then do something that people haven't really drank before. And I think that's why we're pretty well known for doing these type of pop-up events, doing these type of happy hours. We do a lot of charity events, and we do enter some fun competitions, especially mixology competitions. Again, you know, you bring the fig to a competition, which one of our mixologists did, and they did a fig coffee cocktail. That's something different.
Yes.
So we want to be the toy that the bartenders have never seen before. And I think that's a really cool term to use in this industry. So when we walk into a restaurant like I did today in Long Island, they're like, you're giving them something different. You're giving them something to play with because they've been playing with the same bourbon, the same mezcal, the same tequila, the same gin. You know, they want to be creative, right? And I think our product brings out that creativity in bartenders and mixologists.
So, Michael, go ahead,
Yes.
Karen.
I was just about to comment. It's like being a trendsetter, where you're not doing everything everybody else is doing. You're bringing the next wave of drinks.
So it's great you said that. About 3 years ago, I did a symposium in Las Vegas on disruptive products, and we were invited as a disruptive product. And I say that in a positive light, of course. But my opening statement was, Black Infusions isn't chasing a trend. Black Infusions is the trend.
That's hot.
Like that.
That's hot. That's hot.
Right?
Because everybody looks for who's going to set the pace, who's going to change the normal and create the next new thing. So I think that's beautiful what you're doing with your drinks. And if I'm not mistaken, a lot of those fruits that you're using have great health benefits too, just by themselves. So
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. And I know it's not PC to say, hey, our products are healthy. What we say is our products are real. So if you're eating figs, which are really good for you, you're eating apricots, especially cherries, which has so many benefits, you're having almost a pound of fruit in every bottle. So you are getting the benefits of that actual fruit. And it makes it even better that we're not adding the sugars and the aspartames and the chemicals on top of that. So really, we're two ingredients. You know, I just say booze and fruit. That's what you're drinking.
That's hot. That's hot.
So, Michael, I'm looking over here at a few of the recipes, and the recipes caught my eye. We're on the show with a producer, gold-winning producer, and one of the drinks is called the Notorious Fig.
Right. So if you go to our website, you go to our Instagram account. By the way, it's www.blackinfusions.com, and Instagram is @blackinfusions. Or if you meet me and I hand you a recipe card at a liquor store or at a restaurant, 90% of these cocktails are going to be created by the people out there. It's going to be created by the mixologist. It's going to be created by the bartender, or it could be created by the home bartender that posted the drink online or tagged us. So which is great about our drink. So the Black Fig alone, and you mentioned the Notorious Fig, the Black Fig alone has 450 recipes. I ask anyone to find a spirit, I don't care what it is, that has 450 drink recipes, and not just flimsy recipes. These are actual cocktails that people have made at home, or they have them on their cocktail menu. And like that drink that Brandon's showing, it's the versatility that you can take the Black Fig, make a spicy fig margarita, make a El Santo, which is named after a Mexican wrestler from a Mexican restaurant in Las Vegas, which is Ancho Reyes and Black Fig and mezcal. Or you can mix it with bourbon and whiskey. So they're really versatile, and that's, I think, the biggest asset of using real fruit in your spirits.
That's great. So one thing I want to talk about right now is where can people find it? Because you're up in the Northeast area. I'm in Vegas. Perion's out in the South, down in Atlanta. So for people that want to find the spirits, I'm just looking here, and you can also correct me, Michael, that it looks like okay, I have some of the locations. So we got Whole Foods, we have Lee's Discount Liquor, we have Gordon Ramsay, we have ShopRite, Bivmo, just to name a few, and Total Wine.
Right. So there's two ways to find our product. There's the Find Us page, which you pop in your zip code and like you said, and you'll find it. We're in 21 markets. The other thing that we've been engaged with is online. If we're not in your market, you can order it online if you're one of those 37 states. And hopefully that's increasing as we go and let all the states be able to order it. The number was a lot lower, but because of the pandemic, a lot of states like Pennsylvania opened up their market to online orders. So it's a great tool. We try to update it. We're in more Total Wines than any store. I think we're in 153 nationwide. But like you said, if you go to California, we're in 143 Bevmos. And we're trying to grow. One of the things that we can talk about after this is the challenges of growing as a small, supplier in this market. It's just not as easy as selling, if I came up with taco sauce, it's not as easy as finding food suppliers. You cannot sell it on your own. It's a 3-tier system in our country, and we have to go through distributors. And I've been trying to get a distributor in Arizona for over a year. There's a lot of products out in the market right now.
There is. And like I was saying earlier, I mean, with tequila, we have so many tequilas, and tequila's very hot right now. You got a lot of the celebrities that are endorsing tequila. You got George Clooney, you got Kevin Hart, you got The Rock. So we're here to talk about Black Infusions, and we want people to support this product because it's a great product, it's a healthy product, and a lot of times you find people that are nervous about drinking certain alcohols because of the sugar content or if they're diabetic. Is this for people that are diabetic or have high blood pressure? Are they okay to use this product?
Right. So I get, when we do store tastings, that's when we have direct to consumer communications. In the restaurants, we obviously don't deal with the consumer, we deal with the restaurant people. So yes, so the number one question we get is, how much sugar's in this? Mm-hmm. Or where is the sugar derived from in the process of making this product? And, I never tell somebody, this is, like I said, this is healthy. But a lot of people that have, sugar-related illnesses, or can't have artificial, or can't have gluten. I mean, we check all those boxes off because, like I said originally, we're just using a neutral grain spirit, which we develop ourselves, and natural fruit. So the only sugar or carbs you're going to get is what's in a fig, what's in an apricot, or what's in a cherry. And people have to understand that it's really about the sugar. When people say, I don't feel good when I drink red wine, or wow, I had a really bad headache the next day because I drank X. Look, you drink a lot, you're going to have a headache. But the whole point is you drink sugar in your cocktails, whether it's in the spirit or in the mixers, that's not good. I mean, you can see the trend of a lot of younger people now drinking straight tequila with a twist of lime, drinking mezcal. A lot of people are doing away with the mixers, right? Which is great for us because we don't need a lot of mixers in our product. You know why? Because we're bringing the natural sweetness. So when you make a fig Manhattan, you don't need vermouth. You're just doing black fig, rye whiskey, and some bitters. I think that's what's great about these products. it allows you to not use the simple syrups, the agaves, the vermouth, unless you want to, but you don't need to.
With your product, do you ever run into any issues with, I know a lot of the farmers have, sometimes they get their seasons of bad crops, or a storm may come through and cause problems. Has that affected you in any way?
Yeah, and no one really asked me that question. So we are, we buy produce. I mean, we are, out there like a supermarket. We have to hunt down, find figs, find apricots, find cherries. Fig is a very hard fruit to find. There's not a lot of growers left in California, to the point that we're going to have to start looking at Turkey, Morocco, Greece, Italy to source our figs. We're like buying wine, same thing. So we have to source the fruit from our farms. Right now, we source it from 2 farms in Fresno, California. But it's also price fluctuation as well. And it's not like one day a banana is $2 and tomorrow the banana is $3. Our prices are set with distributors. So that fluctuation doesn't affect the price maybe for 6 months to a year. So there is a lot of strategy in how you price your products, how you order your products. I try to order as much as I can if it's a good harvest and it's a good price. As we grow bigger, we'll order more and we'll be able to store. You can store dried fruit at least up to a year, especially if you freeze it. Again, people aren't eating our fruit, so they don't have to be big. They don't have to look pretty. They just have to have the taste.
So what's the average price range for our listeners for a bottle of the 3 products, as well as the ready to drinks?
Right. So the average price, I'll say on the low end, it's $29.99. On the high end, depending on the taxes, it could be up to $39.99. But our average price from all our markets is $32.99 a bottle. And then to the RTD, which is the Dirty Shirley, the average price is $14.99. We really want to keep the RTD under 15, although that's not obviously our decision. Sometimes customers walk in and say, wow, why you price so high? And I'm like, the store makes the prices, whether they want to take a 28% margin or they want to take a 50% margin. We try to get them competitive. I think the $32 is a great price for our product. Remember, we're not a quote unquote flavored vodka where the prices are in the teens. We're using real fruit. So there's a price to pay for that. But again, you're not just drinking it. You're drinking it in cocktails. So you're not going through that bottle on a Friday night.
Yeah, it's priced well.
Yeah. I would say it's a luxury brand.
Exactly. So that's the whole point of why we're more of an artisanal liqueur than we are a vodka. In 2024, we're going to get vodka off our bottle, and we're going to put on artisanal liqueur, because that's really what we are. We can be a base in your cocktail, like a Fig Manhattan, or we can be a modifier, like in a spicy fig margarita. So that's the beauty of the products. We'll play nice with everyone, even if we're not the main spirit in the drink and we're just a half an ounce. And I think that's the great versatility. If people want to use us as the neutral grain spirit as the base, or they just say, hey, I just want a little half an ounce. I just want a little flavor of fig, or a little flavor of cherry in my Manhattan. I think we're gonna grow so fast once we move into the liqueur, because right now we're going menu to menu. What I mean by that is people are bringing our products in and putting us on the cocktail menu, and that's why they're bringing us in. We're going to move to a liqueur, and people are going to bring us in to have a bottle on their shelf. So in New York City, we're in about 40 restaurants on their menus. I think as a liqueur, we're going to be in 8,000 restaurants with a bottle on the back shelf. That's why we're pivoting into the artisanal liqueur category.
Now we're moving into the holidays. So you have Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up. Tell our viewers about can they bake with this? Because I'm looking at the apricot, I'm looking at the fig, I'm looking at the cherry. Or is this something that you can also bake with?
Yep. So I wish we had more recipes online. We have a great fig biscotti recipe and, as you said, an apricot white chocolate chip cookie. So we do a lot of cocktail dinners. Now, most people are familiar with wine dinners, right? Everyone goes to wine dinners. And there are some whiskey dinners. We take it a step further. We're not just making a cocktail with the food. We're making the food with the cocktail. So I just did a dinner last year in Brooklyn, and the chef took the black fig and did a fig reduction with dried figs over ricotta cheesecake. It was the star of the show. He took some shrimp and he marinated it in the gold apricot with a little tarragon, and we did some tacos with that. And then he took the cherry, and this is a home run, and he did a cherry reduction over pork belly, and that was just, I mean, it was so much fun. And again, you're giving the chef something that they haven't had before, because if they wanted to do that fig, they would have to get the figs, reduce them down to a liquid form, right? Probably add simple syrup or sugar to the mix, where all he had to do was pour the black fig, reduce it down with whatever he's doing, balsamic vinegar, whatever, and there he goes. And so that's great. I mean, there are a lot of great cooking recipes. We actually have a company that we do business with called the Department of Sugar. They're in Chicago, and they make chocolates. They make truffles and bonbons with our products. Again, we're a small company. It's hard to promote so much that we can do. But yeah, they're easy to cook with because they're not artificial, and you're not reducing the artificial sugar. I think I'd love to push the envelope more with chefs and coming up with some recipes. Because I think that's another whole source of revenue and brand awareness for our product.
I don't mean to cut you off, but we're running short of time. So what I want to do is we'll definitely have you back on the show. But what I want to do is leave our viewers with the way that you can promote the product and tell them where they can find you on social media for our last few minutes. Go ahead.
Sure. So blackinfusions.com is our website. Great information, a whole host of recipes. Plus it tells our story. Our Instagram account, I'll have to say, it looks like we're, a national player, and it's black.infusions, both on Instagram and on Facebook. And look, you can email us as well from the website. Any questions you have about the product or any cocktail questions, reach out to us. You'll get back to you in 24 hours because that's what we need to do. Customer service as a small supplier.
Thank you for being on the show. Thank you, Perion. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Make sure you check out
Thank you, guys.
Great
Really
product.
appreciate it.
And thank you again, Michael. We'll have you back on the show later. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Miracle Podcast. Have a great day.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.